faith who are making senior programming something special in our city at the facility at 4525 Lafayette Road. What's up, my sister?
Hey, hey, how are you?
I am doing so good, Athena. I told you, man, if there's one thing that you can bank on, it's hot weather in Phoenix and Jumbo Love smiling and feeling good.
Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear.
And it's good to catch up with you because you have been doing some great work at CenterWell Senior Primary Care. The facility that is located, as I like to mention, 4525 Lafayette Road. And got a great meet and greet coming up. And before we get started, we always want to just refresh the audience on CenterWell, what you guys are doing to make a change in senior primary care here in Indianapolis.
Yes, thank you so much again for having me on your show. It's always a privilege to get to see and hang out with you. So I'm excited as always. But yes, CenterWell is a primary care office that does things efficiently, effectively, and I like to say a lot better. So, a couple things that make us great is that we only cater to the Medicare population. So, it could be seniors, it could be 20 somethings with Medicare, but we cater to that specific population because they're usually the most underserved. So, if you're looking for an office where you spend less time in the waiting room and more time with your provider, that you have access to same day appointments, 24/7 care with your providers, come see me because we are doing healthcare differently. We're not fee for service. We are quality driven, not quantity driven. So, again, thanks
And I
for.
would like to, I'll always like to interject. That's the reason I like to, always start back and keep it fresh. People don't even understand that younger people have Medicare who might have some issues that their insurance provider now has given them the Medicare privileges, so to speak.
Mhm.
And we have to, just teach the audience a little bit about this.
Yeah, because we have the youngest that I've seen so far is 23 years old who came
Mm-hmm.
to us. She has a chronic health condition. I'm not sure what her health condition is, but I just so happened to be here when she came in for her new patient appointment. I was just in awe that she was so young and that she was actually dealing with something chronically that prompted her to be allowed to be on Medicare. So even though it
And then
says, huh?
no, just even guiding people who might not know this that have a loved one who could qualify to be on Medicare. The kind of the message I'm sending because they could
Mhm.
be a full time caregiver and just stressing themselves out, and they could get some assistance and help that is out here. And the
Yeah.
only way to learn is to contact somebody like
Right.
CenterWell.
And even if they want to talk to me directly, because honestly, people look at me like, oh, you're just trying to sell me on Cinema. But no, I've been in your shoes. I was a caregiver for over 20 years of my life. So since the age of 11, I was caring for somebody, whether it was my grandparent, my aunt, somebody always needed me. And I saw the bad side of healthcare. I saw where people were treated incorrectly due to their insurance. I tell the story often about my aunt who was on Medicare and Medicaid at an early age because she had arthritis disorder. She lost the cartilage in her knees and she just could not work because of her health conditions. And I saw how bad she was treated as a Black woman on Medicare, on Medicaid. They automatically put her in this category, in my opinion, that she was lazy and she was just using the system. But my auntie
Hmm.
wanted to work, but she just physically couldn't. So I've seen that bad side, but if any of
Yeah.
my family members were living, they would be at Centerwell because I've seen it with my own eyes change lives.
And I've seen it too. And I told you, I've been there and, I'm not as religious as I need to be. I preach this stuff and probably need to practice more than I preach. But damn it, I know one thing, I got treated well. And the other side of the coin is that you guys have a great facility on site at 4525 Lafayette Road where people can come and engage in some of the programs that you provide weekly. And you don't even have to be a member at CenterWell Senior Primary Care.
And you don't. And I always tell people that my thing is just be on Medicare because there's so many things out here for people who are not on Medicare. This I try to keep it as much as possible for people who are on Medicare or who are that age because people get tired of going places like the fair and things and run into a lot of YNs, and they feel like they're not getting their safe space. And we try to keep this as safe as possible. Is Medicare a mandatory thing for you to come to the center? No, but we try to keep it as much as we can to people with chronic health conditions, who are seniors, who are usually afraid to go different places. We try to give them a safe place to go. But I'm not going to turn you away. If you want to come hang out with us, come hang out with us. But
Well, I'm gonna say it like you can't say it. If you just some old grubby old snack grabbing, coffee drinking dude that didn't have money to go to White Castle, we don't want to see you. How about that one for reality?
that is not what CenterWell said. That is completely
That's
jumbo.
jumbo. That Cineworld did not endorse that statement, but I'm telling them now because I know some old brothers that used to come through Lockhart Cadillac, and we
Yeah,
used to have the best cookies in the world, the best little coffee, and I
yeah,
mean, brothers would come through and act like it was a snack shop, and
yeah,
in the disguise of coming to see me.
yeah,
I said, now how do you think my boss looks at that? Man, you just
yeah.
come there taking a half dozen of cookies that were for the cut. So I'm just being candid and real. But
Well,
that does lead me to the reason I wanted you in here is because next Thursday, August the 14th,
mm-hmm,
11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And
mm-hmm.
this is how special Centerwell is. Tell them what we have going on.
So for everybody who is apprehensive and says, I just want to meet the provider first, I don't want to make an actual appointment, the 14th is your day to come and do that, because we've gotten a lot of people who come and make doctor's appointments and they don't want to see the doctor. They just want to meet him. And we want to eliminate that. And I tell people the reason why is because think of your fellow man. If your fellow man or your friend was sick and you hog this doctor's appointment just to shake somebody's hand, you're now keeping that fellow man, your friend, your auntie, your uncle from seeing a good provider where you just wanted to come shake a hand. So that's why we're doing this event on the 14th, for you to come shake the hands of the provider at Lafayette Road, which is Dr. O or Ojukwu and Ashley
Ooh,
Mundy.
Lord. She
I
definitely going to be Dr. O when I'm interviewing her next week, you know.
Yes, you get to see a Dr. O and you get to meet Ashley. You do not get to ask medical questions because that's what a doctor's appointment is for. But you can ask general questions. You can get a feel for them as a human being. That's what this date is for. So from 11 to 1, I know there's a flyer circulating around about it being 2
Oh, it's
o'clock,
out
but
there on my site today.
yes, yes, but the doctors will not, the providers will not be available beyond, I would say, 12:45, because they are still seeing patients. So if you come and you want to shake their hands, you can come between the hours of 11 and 12:40, I would say, to meet them. But they will have to promptly go back to see patients. But we'll still have people giving tours. We'll still have people, vendors sitting around. I'm sure Jumbo Love will hang out a lot longer to interview people. we have some
Absolutely.
we have some other vendors who will hang out a little longer, but for the providers, for you to see the providers, I would encourage you to get here before 12:30. That way you can actually meet and greet with them at that time.
That's a beautiful thing, Athena, and I just always applaud you for the work that you do. They don't understand how hard this sister works out here,
Whew.
but really trying to reach our senior community, and especially as you mentioned, and I try to explain this all the time, Athena, many of the people that we're trying to reach aren't the listeners. They're the
Right.
people that can listen and carry this message because many
Mhm.
of those people that we're trying to help and serve are low income. They don't have accessibility to a lot of the technology in the 21st century to get this messaging. So it's important that the churches and the organizations and the businesses let their people know about this.
And that's how I've gotten attached to some churches as well, because they've had members who have listened to either your podcast, or they listened to Vicky Peterson, and they took my call to action to actually show up. So I'm calling action to anybody who's listening. If you have a family member, a friend, neighbor, somebody you hardly can't stand, that you want to learn this information for and be able to share this information, give me a call, 317-625-8356. I am personally able to meet you at any of our 5 locations, but I'm always stationed at the Lafayette Road location. And
Oh,
if you
they
would like,
opening things up for us, sister.
yes, because listen, I will go to the east side to tell you about the goodness of
Yeah,
Central.
I'm
So
being funny. Yeah, I'm being jumbo love right now. So I told you it's a little 13-year-old bad boy that lives inside of me.
I
Can't
understand.
help it. Yeah. But no, man, thank you. And like I say, we'll continue to push this information. I will replay this Saturday on the Jumbo Love Show to make sure that the people who might be listening then can hear this information as well. But I'll always continue the great works that you do, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for always supporting us and actually being that voice that some people need to push them in here. So I
Hey,
appreciate it.
somebody got to do that. Jumbo Love, I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
All
Bye.
righty. That is Athena Salsbury.